2 years ago, we started our craziest project yet. We built this 2-story garage studio from the ground up with zero new construction experience. We paid cash for the materials and took our time along the way to get all the little details exactly right. But that was only the beginning, gang. Now it's time for the main event. It's time to build the actual house. It's going to be much bigger and much harder to build, especially with just 3 guys. And this time we have $300,000 and 365 days to build that 3,100 square foot dream home. Let's get started. All right guys, back on site at the Stud Pack Dream House build. In our last video, you saw us put up the floor truss system and it came out great. But as luck would have it, there's a magazine I subscribe to, the Journal of Light Construction. The day we finished it, I got home and there was the brand new copy in my mailbox. I'm reading through it and there's a tip for laying floor trusses that I wish we would have known. Here's the tip. You get some of the sill sealer you used on your foundation, right? And you slide it between any trusses that are touching, like all these. And it minimizes any squeaking you may get between the trusses. But too late for that. We're just gonna have to rely on our construction to make sure we don't have any squeaks. Now, even though the floor trusses are up and they tie the walls together, I can still move this whole building a lot. I can sight down this wall and it's shaking. So before we build up any higher, we want to put on our Zip R sheathing. Now the sheathing is going to do 2 things for us. Number 1, it's going to give us that shear value that's going to keep this building from doing all that shaking. The second thing it does, it's going to help keep these studs on layout. When we put them up, they were straight, but in this Texas rain and the wind and the heat, some of them are going to bow. And now they're going to be off layout in the middle, which we're going to fight putting on sheathing, putting on drywall, putting up cabinets. So for example, if this one's bent way towards me, when we put our sheathing up, we can bend it back towards the layout, put a nail through the sheathing, and that will hold it. So we want to get all that done in this video. And there's a little detail I thought up on how to seal the bottom of the zip. I've never seen it before. We're going to show it to you. Let me know what you think about it. Is it a great idea? Is it a terrible idea? But before we do any of that, there's one thing we got to do first. And it's a really important detail, drywall backing. So for example, in this corner right here where the bedroom is, the sheet on this wall, I got this stud. And the sheet on this wall, I got this stud. And the sheet right here in the bathroom, I got this one. But this guy is going to be hanging in the air. We don't want that. So we're going to put a 2x just like that. That's going to give us an inside corner where we can nail or screw our drywall sheets too. It's way easier to do it now, but we're going to put up the blocking first because I can just hold that, come in here with a nail gun, boom, 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 and nail that blocking off. If you try to do it from this side, it's just harder because this is floating in the air. You don't have anything to nail against. So we're going to quickly go around. There's not that many T intersections like this, and do our drywall blocking. All right, that's it. Yeah, there actually weren't that many. So we had 2 goals, right? To give ourselves drywall backing in our corners, but also leaving room for the insulation guy to get all the way back here, because that is the most often forgotten part of a building to insulate. All right, you ready to hang some zip?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. All right, we're really excited. We're gonna start zipping our building. Now, do you remember a few videos back where I brought my laser over here at night and I made these red lines at the top of the wall, which gave us a reference on where to cut all these studs so our second floor was flat? You remember that? Well, those lines are all still there. So we just used them to transfer a line on this side of the studs right there. And those lines are perfectly in line and perfectly flat because the reference line up there is perfectly flat. So now we're going to pop a line all the way across, and that'll be the joint between the bottom sheet of zip and the middle row. And so we started on this wall because right here is the lowest part of the slab, and I know that from my laser measurements, my recon mission that night. So let's pop a line, start hanging some zip. Okay, pop it. Good? Yeah. Ready for our first sheet of zip. The type of nail you choose is critical for any stage of the framing project. So what are we going to use? Well, Zip wants 1.5 inch embedment. That means 1.5 inches of the nail into the stud. With our Zip R, we're 1 inch thick, so I got 2.5 inch nails. The diameter is 0.131, It's going to work great for our Milwaukee cordless gun. Now these have every feature you could ask for. They are ring shanked, glue tipped, hot dip galvanized, full round head. I don't think you could pack any more features into this nail. Let's load some up in our gun, hang our first sheet of zip. You ready?
Yeah, finally. Changing the color.
We put a couple of nails up on our chalk line, so Rad and I don't have to hold it. We can just set it on our nails, just like that. All right, you gotta come to me a little, bud.
Yep.
All right, so I'm splitting this stud, Rad's splitting his. I got it, get a couple nails in the bottom.
First nail, first zip.
Woo.
Let's go.
Oh, I love that. It's almost flush, perfect.
Nice.
All right, need a ladder, Rad.
I'm on it.
Nice place to stand, huh? Nice and shaded.
We're gonna start building shade every day.
Looks good. Sweet.
And already, guys, very first stud, about a 1/4 inch off layout. So I'm gonna pull it over.
Nice.
Put it on there, Rad's gonna nail it. And now it can't move. That one's perfect, Rad.
Nice.
Here, you can just shoot them as you go.
A little over.
And now we don't need to check the studs anymore. They can't move at the bottom, they can't move at the top, and they can't move in the middle. Let's nail this one off, and Rad, you got that?
Yep.
I want to go see what it looks like on the inside. Man, look at that. That looks so cool. I've seen it on a million YouTube videos, but to see it on our own build, that looks amazing. Gonna cut down on that thermal bridging, and just like you mentioned, Jordan, it's gonna help with the sound a lot. All right, guys, we got one sheet of zip up. It is 5 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. We just wanted to come to the job site and get started. But now that we are started, it'll be easy on Monday to finish this wall. We'll see you then. All right, guys, bright and early Monday morning. Let's finish putting that middle row of zip on this wall. All right, guys, our middle row of zip on the first floor is up, and it came out great. It is perfectly straight, perfectly flat, and every sheet of zip we put up gives us more and more shade. You notice right now we are filming in the shade because shade is really important to us because it is really hot. So our next step we're gonna put up, our next row, is the bottom sheet. Now, if you remember on the garage, when we zipped the garage, we didn't have the zip R, we just had plain old zip. So pretend this piece of plywood is a piece of zip. We put it flush to our bottom plate, and then we got liquid flash, and we sealed this joint between the slab and our zip to seal out against air, water, and bugs. And we want to continue sealing like that on the main house. But remember, now we're using zip R. We've got that 1/2 inch foam insulation we got to deal with, so we could do it like that and come in with a liquid applied product and seal right there. I know there are many tape products, and you could tape that also. There are also ways to adjust your framing to account for that. So for example, we could kick the sill plate back so that the front of our zip flushes out with the concrete or your wood foundation, and then that is a much easier transition to seal. You could also do a double bottom plate, right? Bring your bottom one flush, then take your second one, put it back a little bit, and so have the front edge flush out. You could also put a wooden strip down here out of some treated. If you had a wooden foundation, you could nail that wooden band into the bottom. So there are lots of ways to do it. So I don't think there's a single right way to do it, but the wrong way to do it would be to do absolutely nothing. So I came up with something to seal that joint that I've never seen before, and I think the detail that I came up with is going to be easier to apply and is going to last a lot longer than any tape product or liquid applied product. I got a piece of it in the truck, let's go check out that detail. So here it is, guys. Here's my idea. Pretty simple, but I think it's gonna work great for us. It's just a U-shaped piece of metal. The sheet metal shop that made all the flashing for the Dream Garage also made this for us, brought them the specs one morning, picked it up the next. What are the specs? It's simply 1 inch wide on the ID and 2.5 inch flanges right there. And so it's 1 inch wide because that is how thick our Zip R is. So if you're using thicker Zip R, just have your sheet metal shop bend that to the right dimension. And check how easy this is going to be. It just slides right over the edge. And now the bottom of the zip and all that foam is protected forever. And then we're going to seal it to the building with a bead of Lexel. Once we put it on the building, we'll nail it to the sill plate, put a piece of zip tape over this edge and all the nails. And man, that's like the most bulletproof solution I've ever seen to how to handle the bottom of the Zip R. And I love this for 2 reasons. It's really fast and it's cost effective. We just slide our metal on, put a bead of Lexel on the sill plate or on the concrete, nail this on, zip tape it, and we're done. We're done for years and years. We never have to go back and check this detail. And it's cost effective. We crunched some numbers, and to put a liquid applied all around the building, just the material is going to be $600, $700, $800. So this is cheaper and it's faster, and in our opinion, it's going to last longer.
How much did it cost you?
$538.
Wow.
But to me, it's the time savings, right? I'm not laying in the dirt. So we already have a piece of our flashing on that zip over there. Let's put it on, see how long it takes. All right, guys, we're ready. So Rad's got a scrub brush. He's given the concrete a really good cleaning. So where we're working right now, the bottom of our zip's going to be at the bottom of the sill plate. But as we work our way around the building, we're going to be on the concrete with our Lexel. So we're going to make sure that's clean. And of course, where all our drains are, we have our nail plates, really, really important. And on the other side, we have 2 3-inch pipes that are conduits for water. They're not drained, so we protected those as well. All right, that looks great, Rad. Now I'm going to put a bead of Lexel on here. I already pulled off the protective plastic. Use my finger as a guide, and we want a really, really big bead. Yeah, I love that. And I just want to, I'm going along and I want a really, really big bead because I don't want any gaps down there for ants, water, anything to get through. Good? Yep. Against the building. Okay.
You good?
All the way up. Yep.
I'm good.
Nice.
All right, gang, putting it on the sill this time. You see how that works. The tube of Lexel is so hot that it's just like sliding down. The heat's working against us in that way too. Yep. Yeah, that's really good.
A little bit of a gap on the top. Are we good though?
Can Jordan go up?
You go up, Jordan? He's tight on this side. I don't think he can.
Okay, hit it.
I say we go bottom right away and get that thing.
All right, guys, last sheet of zip over here, and of course we're sealing it to our sill plate with a nice bead of Lexel. Big shout out to our friends over at Sashco. And if you've never used their products and you're a pro in the trades and you want to try them out, they have an awesome promotion going on right now. We'll leave a link below. You just sign up and they're going to send you a case of 6 full-size sample tubes of 6 of their different products. Awesome deal, guys. Try them out. Once you use them, you'll never go back.
Oh no, China's.
Shiner. Got our first 2 rows of zip up here on this east wall, and come down here, Jordan, you can see the Lexel squeezing out right here, so we know we have a great air seal, bug seal, water seal right there. Really happy with that. Now follow me out to the outside of the building. I want to show you a couple of things we did. So we stopped this full sheet right here, knowing that the next 8-footer will span this door, the end of this 2x6 wall that's holding up our railing for the stairs, and part of the great room. It's going to tie all that together. And then likewise, we'll start a piece here and it will tie the door frame and this wall and the great room wall all together. And in the same vein, we figured out ahead of time that if we put 2 full 4-foot sheets and we end 8 feet right there, that means the next sheet, let's see if I can stretch my tape up there while I'm looking right into the sun. boom, there's 4 feet. So you can see how that sheet is going to tie the second floor and our floor system and the first floor walls all together. Now we put these sheets horizontal. You can stack them vertically just like we did on the garage. And we staggered them. You don't even have to do that. You can just line these up, line up your vertical seams, and it makes it easier to tape. But we like this. We love it. So let's go on the front of the house and finish the front. All right, guys, one of the trickiest details with this zip R is to get your corners right. We want this foam to completely insulate the corner. You wouldn't buy an ice chest that didn't have insulation in the corners, right? So we want to insulate that corner. It's important to us. So here's what we're going to do. You can see that we already let this sheet run long this way, 1/2 inch, the thickness of our foam. Now we're going to get the sheet that goes on top of that and remove a 1-inch strip of foam off the back, and you're going to get this detail right there. And now we have zip completely covering all our foam. Time for the putty knife. This move is just called bend it until it breaks. All right, the sheet metal break wouldn't break it any more than that. So we're just getting some rags and we're crushing it to about like that so it slides over the edge. Nice and tight. We're just using rags because this metal gets so hot. I'm just going along like this, pressing that down. I'll flip it over, do the other side.
All right. Go ahead, come to me.
Nice.
Love it.
Yeah, if you can lift it up just a hair, that'd be awesome. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Whew. Perfect.
Nice. Good thinking.
I'm money.
If you can go up a little more, Jordan.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to extend it.
Come put one in my windowsill.
We are back at it the next day and the zip looks great. The walls are perfectly flat and it's perfectly straight. So before we continue on this side, we want to get all this dirt out of here, not only from here, but in the front, the other side, and the backyard, because it's really hard to work around. And we don't want to put this zip up and then crash into it later with whatever it is we use to move the dirt. So we actually picked up a little piece of equipment this morning. What are we going to use? A little baby, what do you call it?
It's like a walk behind
It is a
excavator, kind of.
Walk behind excavator. So I'm gonna let Jordan do it. We're gonna practice in the front yard where we have more room. Then we'll sneak in between the building and the fence.
All right, guys, the front is done and it looks a lot better. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better. So now Dad's gonna try and knock off this massive hill right here. All right, gang, that looks a lot better. It's knocked down, it's flatter. We're just looking for flat. Now we got to tackle this corner back here and the back side of the porch. There's some low spots in the backyard that don't drain properly, so we're gonna fill that in. Woo, it's hot.
All right, guys, we started in the front yard, worked our way around the back, and this right here is looking pretty good. It's not perfect because we're not professional landscapers and we don't have like 100 hours on this machine, but we're getting the hang of it. So over here on the side of the house, what we're doing, we're finding that we don't really need to remove so much dirt because we have all this to build up in right here. So we're digging, dumping, dragging. Digging it up, dumping it, and dragging. We're gonna work our way all the way to the front. All right, guys, look how much better that looks. It was well worth the $300 to rent that machine for a day and get this done in all the heat. It's gonna drain better, I'm not stumbling, and now we can set up the scaffolding right here a lot easier. So now that this is level, we can easily put up our zip, and that's our very next step.
All right, gang, about to put our first sheet up. And the machine kind of kicked up some dirt a little too high in some places. So we're just gonna use the rake and kind of clear it out for the zip. Take our brush, give it a quick cleaning. We want that Lexel to bond nice. Yeah, I like it. You ready? Yep. Higher on the left side. Money. Great job.
All right, guys, before we continue with our zip, I want to mark this piece of pipe right here. So that piece of pipe is actually a conduit for our water line. So let me explain. So this 2-inch is the vent for the island sink. This 3-inch is a conduit for the hot and cold PEX lines going to the island for the kitchen sink there. And so this 3-inch is actually for our PEX line coming into the building. The meter is directly that way, so we're gonna trench right here, 2 feet down. I know that's shallow for all you guys like in Minnesota and Alaska. You're probably laughing at us, right? 2 feet, we gotta go 6. Well, anyway, that's what it is here, 2 feet down. We're gonna turn, and our plumbers put a long sweet 90 underground pointing this way. They just gotta dig it up, and they'll come in the building with our PEX, pop up in the building. And that's our main water line. Typically what you would have, you're gonna come up outside, right? And then you're gonna pop into the building with a shutoff valve. Now you got a seal around that. So this gives us one less building penetration.
And it prevents the water line from freezing. That connection is the thing that you see everybody wrap with towels and all that,
yeah,
right?
Garbage bags. We won't have to do any of that, of course, because this is all gonna be spray foamed. I want the plumbers to know where this is, right? If I put zip here, we're gonna have to go all the way around, measure off of something, come out here, measure, hope we get it right so they can start digging. But what if I got my grinder and I just engraved a W right there? Just like the S we engraved on the sidewalk where the sewer line is, let's mark the water line. All right, branded. All right, guys, hanging zip today, just me and Jordan. So we came up with a little trick just to make it a little easier. So we got these 2 2x4s on the ground, just keep it out of the dirt. And then Jordan's gonna line up his end. We're keeping the bottom off the building to keep it out of that Lexel bead we put there. And it was really difficult for me to be on. So it's really difficult for me to be on one end, him on the other, trying to grab it, make it tight here, and nail at the same time. So I'm gonna be the lifting guy, and he's gonna be the nailing guy. I got a little 2x4 fulcrum and a 2x4 lever. I'm just gonna get in the middle of the sheet, and I can lift, and Jordan can nail, just like that. He's gonna check both ends for me, shove it down a little bit. All right, I'm up pretty tight. Looks great, Jordan. What do you think?
Looks really good.
Nice, send it. We just get a couple nails in the top and I can let go. All right, I'm gonna get out of the way. I'm gonna go start on the next sheet. And Jordan's gonna nail this one off. And just like that, the first 2 rows of Zip R are installed on our building. It's nice and flat, it's nice and sealed, but we did cover up a bunch of our windows and our doors. So let's get out the router and reveal what this building's really gonna look like.
Yeah! Nice job.
So I'm using my good old Porter cable router I've had longer than I've had Jordan. It's electric, of course, because I need the power. Got a 1/2-inch shank in this 1/2-inch bit. This is called a piloting bit. Just a single flute. There's the bearing, a solid bearing. We don't need a bearing with ball bearings in it, and a pilot bit. So you can see that's a drill bit. I can plunge through the zip anywhere I want, make my cutout. Let's move our cords to the other side. Got 2 more. Man, that was fast.
That's it.
But I got to put a pot holder on my router because it gets so hot. It's untouchable, guys.
Yeah, we're at that point in the summertime where if you leave a tool out in the sun, dude, you messed up.
Got to put it in the shade, but it wouldn't help with this because this is all metal. It's going to get hot anyway.
Nice job.
All right, time for some zip tape. Roll the tape. All right, gang, using the router and our windows work great, and it's all done. We're so excited to have our first 2 rows of zip on the building. It's finally looking like a house, just like the one we designed. So our next step is to apply our very first roll of zip tape. So remember earlier we were talking about this flashing and what a key detail it is in keeping water out of our building right here and air. Well, now if it rains, right, water's gonna come down this zip and it's gonna go right in here, and now it doesn't have a way out. So we wanna prevent that and be ahead of the weather. So we're gonna put a piece of zip tape all along here, splitting the difference between this and this, all the way around the building. And of course, don't forget, roll the tape.
How you doing?
Good.
There you go, Dad. 100 degrees. First day, 100 degrees. All right, man, if you guys are new to the building game and you haven't heard of Zip System, this stuff is absolutely amazing. This is their zip tape. So all these joints that you have after you put up your OSB, your zip sheathing, you just put this tape right over that joint. It's got dotted lines so you can't mess up. Get a knife, cut it, and then on days that we're rolling, I put the roller in my hammer slot, and then you roll the tape. This roller has little Z's, little metal Z's, and when you roll it, it puts Z's in it so the inspectors know, and so your boys know, that you're doing good quality work. And then boom, after you get done rolling it, you're air sealed and water sealed, just like that. 1, 2 vertical seams, just 2 more on this side, 4 on that side, horizontal, Gucci.
right, gang, Jordan and I got a ton of work done today, even though the thermometer hit 100 degrees. And the building's looking and feeling great. And you can tell inside that it's actually a little cooler because the sun is not able to bake that slab all day and have that heat radiate. I know it kind of sounds weird, but take it from us, it's cooler in there with all the zip on. Now in the next video, check it out. What is in front of me? A big, huge pallet of X Factor by Huber. Huge shout out to them. We've never used X Factor before, but you know what? Our buddy Rad decided to go to Hawaii. He's on the island of Kauai right now. Nice timing, dude. So tomorrow, is it just me and Jordan gonna get all this up there? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. So as far as your like button is concerned, zip it, roll it, flash it, then smash it. Please subscribe. Check us out on Insta at StudPack Official and our little other YouTube channel, StudPack 2. Guys, we'll see you right back here when we start on the second floor.
Did you just come up with that like button thing?
Yes, sir.
Nice.